Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie and today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 book series that I want to finish in the year 2020. All of these series are ones that I have already started. I've read at least one book in the series and I would like to complete the rest of the books before the year ends. These are by no means all of the series that I would like to complete this year. These are just ones that I've already started and would like to finish. Number 5 is The Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. I still need to read Heart of Betrayal and The Beauty of Darkness. I have already started this one and I'm just slightly through the beginning. I think I've only read like 20 pages of it. So this one I'll probably complete within the next month or so, and I have no idea when I'll get to this one. If this one leaves off on a really big cliffhanger, I'll probably finish this one immediately afterwards. This is a YA fantasy series following a princess who has run away from home to escape an arranged marriage. And while she's in hiding, she meets these 2 young men and starts to fall in love with both of them. However, one is the prince she was supposed to marry and she doesn't know it's him, and the other is an assassin who was sent to kill her and she obviously doesn't know who he is either. I really enjoyed the first book when I read it in December and it left off on a pretty big cliffhanger, so I definitely want to finish this one soon. Number 4 is the Iron Fae series by Julie Kagawa. This is a YA fairy fantasy. I recently read the first book, The Iron King, and I really enjoyed it, and I think this is a series that I'm going to fly through. It kind of gives me the Mortal Instruments feel because it is more like an urban fantasy. It's set part in the contemporary real world and then part in the fairy world. And there's just so many elements that remind me of how I felt when I first read the Mortal Instruments when I was a teenager. And the fairy world also reminds me a lot of Wonderland from Alice in Wonderland. It's very magical, very fun, it has a really cute romance, and I love the characters. I wouldn't say I'm loving this series, but I'm definitely enjoying it. It's a fun ride. Number 3 is the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I have read books 1 and 2 and I still need to read books 3 and 4, King's Cage and Warstorm. I think I read the first 2 books at the end of 2018 and I thought I would read them in 2019 and I never did. So it's definitely one that I want to finish this year because I really did enjoy it. I know it's a pretty polarizing series. People either love it or they hate it, but I was one of the ones that lean more towards loving it. I wouldn't say it's a favorite of all time. I wouldn't even say it's particularly written that well, but I love the world, I love the magic systems, I love the drama and the characters, so I really enjoyed it. A lot of people have issues with it, saying that it's too similar to YA series that they've already read before, and I do agree to some extent. It does use some typical YA tropes, but at the same time, don't most YA series use the same YA tropes? Like, why is it such a big deal that these books remind you of other books? Because the plot is not the same at all. At least it's not similar to anything that I've read. If you don't know, this is a YA dystopian fantasy series following Silverbloods and Redbloods. The Redbloods are the lower class and they are like the normal humans. They don't have any super abilities. And then the Silverbloods are the nobility and they have unique superhuman abilities. The series starts out when the main character, who is a Redblood, finds out that she actually has a super ability herself, which is unheard of. Beyond the magic and the politics, there's rebellion, there's romance, and it's a fun time. So I definitely want to finish this one soon. I'm honestly surprised that I put it off for this long because I did really enjoy the first 2 books. Number 2 is the Dark Artifices series by Cassandra Clare. I read the first 2 books when they came out. I loved them. I flew through them. I love Cassandra Clare. I love all of her books. I love just the Shadowhunter world in general. The characters in this series are particularly endearing. I want to know how their story ends, and it honestly blows my mind that I haven't finished this 3rd book, Queen of Air and Darkness. I read, I believe, like 500 pages of this book, but because it is so thick, it was like finishing a full novel but not even being halfway done. And I'm not gonna lie, I lost interest in what was happening in the story at the time and I just never picked it back up again, even though, like, I want to know what happens to these characters. I want to know how the story resolves. It's been like 2 years since this book came out now and I still haven't finished it, and I don't even know what to think about that because Cassandra Clare is one of my favorite authors and I haven't even finished one of her books. So I'm behind. So if you don't know, this series is a companion continuation series to the Mortal Instruments, and you definitely need to read the Mortal Instruments before going into this one, like, for sure, definitely. You should also probably read the Infernal Devices before reading this series as well, because some of the characters from that series come into play in this one too. So read all of the Shadowhunter books before you go into this one, basically, is what I'm saying. If you don't know, the Shadowhunter Chronicles are YA urban fantasy books following characters who are half angel, half human, and it is their job to protect the human world from the demon world, so they're essentially invisible demon slayers. The first series in the Shadowhunter Chronicles, which is the Mortal Instruments series, were the books that got me into reading. So I very much have an emotional attachment to this world, and I definitely feel horrible that I haven't finished this book yet. Like, what am I doing with my life? And the number one book series that I want to finish this year is the Shatter Me series by Tahereh Mafi. I have read books 1 through 3, which was the original trilogy. I recently reread it to prepare myself to read the rest of the books. So I still need to read books 4 and 5, and then the 6th and final book comes out in just a few months. So I need to get to these soon so I can be ready for that new release. Because of my recent reread of the original trilogy, I'm super excited to finish this one. Like, I gotta know. But I'm also scared that I'm gonna be disappointed that it's not as good as the original 3 books. Like, what if my opinion of the series is tainted from the last 3 books? Like, oh, it makes me nervous, y'all. If you don't know, the Shatter Me series is a YA dystopian urban fantasy series following people with superhuman abilities. The world has fallen apart, you know, global warming, all that kind of stuff has happened, and the world is just in shambles, essentially. And to unite the different parts of the world, this government rose up called the Reestablishment, and they very much oppress the people. This series follows a group of people who have superhuman abilities as they rebel against the Reestablishment, and it is a crazy fun time. There's also a lot of angst and romance, and my gosh, during my reread, I flew through these books. Oh my gosh, I'm so ready for the rest of the series. The only reason why I haven't read these 2 books yet is because I'm waiting till closer to the release of the 3rd book, because I know I'm gonna want it in my hands immediately after finishing this one. Alright, those are 5 book series I want to complete this year. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more bookish content by me. Let me know in the comments down below what are some of the series that you would like to finish this year as well. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!